Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing great. Thanks for joining. My name is Mimi Christian from the PMI Sub-Saharan Africa region team. Today, we are again connected for our PMP revision session. So I hope you guys are doing well. While we are waiting for others to join so that they won't miss any part of the great lecture we are going to have today, I would like to acknowledge your presence, your participation, by knowing, first of all, from where you are connecting. Let us see from where you are connecting. Just drop in the chat section the country you are connecting from. Yes, Uganda always first, representing. Hello, Steven. Hope you are doing great. Hello, Noko from South Africa. Adrana from Lagos, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Ghana. Yeah, so actually, Africa is in the room. Let it come. If you meet one of your country member, you can also chat him personally. And I can see also people from Francophone countries, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali. Hello, everyone. That's great. That's great to have you. I can also see some names of some of you guys who are really, really, always present, constant, always connected. That's great. So let it come, let it come. We are going to start in a few moments. We are just waiting for some other participant to connect. So make sure you also have your notebook ready, everything ready. Hello from South Africa. I just want to seize the opportunity to remind you that Africa is meeting in Cape Town in September this year to celebrate excellence in project management during our Global Summit Series Africa. So just visit the PMI.org website for you to have further details. In case you don't belong to one of our local chapter yet, that's the opportunity for you to get more info and be part. Last year, we were in Kigali, Rwanda. It was a great celebration. And we also had a chance to meet with all those who participated to these very sessions that you are participating in and passed their PMP successfully. They were there, they received their badge. It was a great moment to finally see physically those we entertained virtually for a long time. So we hope you guys will be there. You are going to make it. We are currently in the early bird stage, so you can have the opportunity to have your tickets at a lower price. Let it come, let it come. Yeah, we can see Lorenco from Mozambique, awesome. Bubakar from Niger, that's great. Hello from Mauritius, Humphrey from Malawi, awesome. I can see we are the house is currently packed. 140, that's great. All right, so I'm connecting actually from Cote d'Ivoire. I'm from Cote d'Ivoire as well, live from Abidjan. And as you know, from the west to the east to the south, I hope we are going to cross our path one day. So, besides, I would like to know also, I know some of you are still planning, thinking. As you know, PMP is changing its structure and also moving officially, talking about the exam to be based fully on the 8th edition from 1st of July. So we are left with almost 60 days to go, and the countdown is real. So for those who made their mind to be certified before the change in exam and all that, please let us know when you are writing. We never know. Maybe we can create a prayer group here to start praying for you while waiting for the good news. So please share in the comment section when you are writing. Yes, Adana is writing on June 6th. All the best. Olive is writing on 30th of April. Georgina on the 27th. Adana, don't worry. The prayer has started. We started praying. You are going to make it. It's just a matter of you going to sit and you share the. You see, Adana, you have Danny Matumo, who is also writing on June 6th. So yeah, we have people from May, from June. Hey, Joel, you are writing on May 1st. Is it not holiday on your side? Anyway, but all the best. I got my PMP 7 years ago. I can feel what you are feeling. Don't worry. I can feel what you are feeling. Jaurès is writing on the 27th May. Okay. Anthony on April 25th. So we have the team writing on Saturday. Who is writing in tomorrow? I think those writing tomorrow are the one who have priority for our prayers tonight. And I'm sure today's session is going to introduce you in your way to success. Yeah, Akim is writing tomorrow. Okay. So Akim, I'm sure today we are going to point you out. You'll be the co-lecturer to assist our doctor today during the session. That's awesome. That's awesome. Great. All right, so we are almost there. Dr. Innocent, I can see the
Yes, please.
beautiful pictures of Kigali. I've been there twice. I don't even know why I'm not there this year. I want to sneak in and participate to the Africa CEO Forum happening there again at the Kigali Convention Center. So we can see your screen. You can see your screen.
Yes, so I think now we can start. How many are there?
Oh, we are 168 waiting for your expertise to be delivered.
Okay. So anyway, so really thank you very much. I highly appreciate the PMI for organizing such sessions. As I used to say, those sessions, they have an advantage. PMP exam content first, eco. So the way the exam contents outlines are outlined, this is how they schedule those events. In fact, the material that we are having for training the PMP guys, it is a mixture of different points from the eco. When you are talking about the eco, is the exam content outline. So which means that you can find that the lesson one, it is taking things from people, it is taking other things from the process, it is taking other things from business environments, and you find that they are combined in one lesson, and they are not in a sequential way. So now, when the PMI Sub-Saharan Africa have been preparing those sessions, I have realized that they wanted to follow the eco, which means that when you complete to study, now the next thing is to be having your exam content outline on your map always, and trying to see where am I good, where I'm not good, where can I improve. But even without doing that, if you attend those events of the PMI Sub-Saharan, you will be able to go through those processes in a sequential way. So now, the first thing first, it is to know the eco and be with it and have it as your roadmap. And it will tell you where maybe you are very weak and you go in the material and you read. Because the exam, the people who are preparing the exam, they follow the equal 100%. That's number one. Then you have also to navigate your PMI.org and you enter into your accounts. And then after entering into your accounts, also you have to go through the notes which are there, the materials, because everyone is having the access to the materials. Then you can download, but also there are some videos. There are some videos where when you feel just like tired, you can open a video. They are not long. They are having very few minutes. In those very few minutes, you can just understand the concepts. So, and then there are two types of practices when also you are doing the exam. There is a PMP study hall, which is provided by the PMI, or even the study hall that can be provided by the training organization. Because you use those practice questions, sometimes you memorize them, or without even memorizing, you find that you have exhausted them. So those questions that you are using while learning, they are not enough. You should be having another practice question, another database, which you are not familiar of, so that you can test if you can get around 80%. So the second option, it is maybe for the people who have made a lot of attempts in the practices, because when you do a lot of attempts, after sometimes you find that everything is coming back. So to test at which level you are, you need to get another practices. But the second one, it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory for sure. So those three things are the ones that can help you to prepare for your exam, and attending those sessions prepared by the PMI will help you sometimes to go through all of the eco in sequential way. So today we'll be having the task number 10 from the pupil domain, and we'll be having task number 5 and task number 6 from process domain. And in the process domain, in the pupil domain, will just be on to build shared understanding. When you have to build the shared understanding, and with this, what I think you are seeing my screen, isn't it? Do you see my screen? Nelson, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So anyway, so build the shared understanding. In any project, you have to align yourself with the project strategic objectives. That's number one. Everything that you are doing, it is for having a successful project. But while going there, you will be having some issues. Issues like what? Some conflicts. Some conflicts might be coming naturally. Very sorry, I'm receiving a very important call. Give me a few seconds so that I can pick the call. Very sorry. It was an important call, so I couldn't miss it. I apologize for that. So I was saying that in the shared understanding, you have to align yourself with the strategic objective of the organization and the project. Second, you should be having the project charter and the team charter. When you are talking about the team charter, it is about the contract that someone is having. Third is about the ground rules. Those three things will help you to manage any type of conflict that should be coming. Another thing, so it means that we have to reach always to the consensus. Another thing, you have to understand that the conflict is just really natural. If you are having a project and then you say that we have never got any conflicts, now it will be very challenging to say that you don't have, it means that you didn't do any project. A project without conflict is not a project. It is just an operation. It is just something very small. It's not really a project, because a bigger project might have conflicts, and the conflicts should not be taken as personal. So now build the shared really understanding. You have also to take your people, you put ground rules, you even set rules that are going to be utilized, and then you say that conflict really is something natural, is not something depending on the person. You have to give to them maybe the guidelines, the guidance of how really anything should be addressed. So really you have to focus on consensus rather than really focusing on very few people. At the end of the day, you need the deliverable. This is what you need. And you can't reach there without having all of the people together. So then, another thing, plan and manage a budget and resources. So the budget, how do you budgeting? Now you will be doing the estimations. In the estimations, where do we estimate? We estimate cost, we estimate schedule, we estimate the resources. So we estimate costs, we estimate the duration, and we estimate the resources. So now the estimation does have three types. There is top down, bottom up, and 3 points. And among those 3 points, we'll be having different scenarios. And then, therefore, we will be having also parametric. So in brief, this is what we are going to cover. And after it, I'm going to provide, as usual, just a small assessment so that you can assess yourself. So we are now starting with build shared understanding. Now, as I told you, seek consensus for the project among the team and stakeholders. When you go into discussion and whatever, you should be reaching to an agreement. And you should demonstrate leadership behavior. Focus on value. You focus on what you want, on value delivery, on the deliverable. Don't focus on personal issues. Be a diligent, respectful, and caring stewards. Anyway, so you have to be to take care of really everyone. You should be empathetic. And then you navigate the complexity. If there is no complexity, it is not a project. It is something very small. The actual project, let us see, for example, what is happening in the Middle East. And now let's say that you are in construction and you have shipments which have to reach So the logistics is now an issue. So now it is making everything complex. And if you need to change to source from somewhere else, there are also boundaries of the budget and the project itself, the project's common interest, the core of the projects, because every organization does have its own culture. So now there are organizations which can be ready for sourcing from anywhere. There are some other organizations which can even be cannot be very flexible depending on their culture. So you have to navigate the complexity. So you should be really focusing always on reaching to a consensus at any cost. That's what I can say. So you have to share the project agreements, vision statement, and project charter, agree or negotiate to reach agreements and buy-in. In any case, you have to agree or negotiate so that the stakeholder gets a buy-in. Uphold the agreements throughout the project. Use open and reliable communication methods and your leadership power skills. So it means that really to manage a project, if it is really a project, it's very complicated and complex, and you should always focus on reaching to an agreement. And when you don't reach, also you can negotiate. So the project vision statements, these will help you to eliminate some conflicts. So include a clear vision of the desired objectives and alignments with the organization's strategic goal. Refer to it throughout the project to maintain alignments. So even in any conflicts, you can ask every person, where do we reach to reach? Where do we want to reach? And then he shows you, he tells you. You always bring a clear vision of the desired objectives and where you need to reach. So now, even the people, when they are in disagreements, but all of them, they know that they have to reach there. So they will be in disagreement, maybe in providing alternative of reaching there, may be very difficult to get a consensus which approach can we utilize. But one thing, everyone should be aligning there. So now, even if there might be some misunderstanding and all of you are focusing on the desired objectives, now it will be okay. Even those conflicts will be manageable. Everyone will be understanding each other because they know that any idea which is coming, it is coming just for reaching the strategic objectives. So now, sometimes you find that conflicts, they come in due to what? To some other reasons and so on. So you have to know that you have to drag your team, remove them from unnecessary things, and then they focus on the project value. So you should be first find out the boundaries of negotiation for the project agreement. What, if anything, is eligible for discussion or troubleshooting? You may even find the people just discussing on something which would not be possible. Sometimes I used to tell people when they bring something, maybe it is not good, and then I ask, is this allowed? It is not. If it is not allowed, why should we discuss about it? So always you have to comply. So if something is not in compliance, don't even bring it as an alternative. Don't say because this is happening, maybe you can try this even if it is not accepted because we don't. No. Anything which is not compliant, don't even discuss. So you will be discussing based on boundaries, the clear boundaries. So then help everyone understand the vision. So there are a lot of ways to use so that everyone can understand the vision. So if, for example, in different meetings, always you start with it, and everyone, when he starts maybe to present, he starts with it. So everyone will be knowing. So now, there is no single way to create a project charter, but every project needs to have one. So now, every project, what is a project charter? Maybe people are going to tell you many things, but I say it is a document which is authorizing the project to happen, which is saying the project manager is this, the budget is this, the timeline is this, and so on, just high level. So in any way, there is no single templates. Yes, the templates are there. With the, if you are a PMI member, you can go to the projectmanagement.com and then you find the templates, all of the templates, project charter, project management plan, all of those templates, scope management plan, scope statement. And so all of the things, they are having the templates, but you have to understand that the project charter is just a document approving the project. That there is a fund, there is a time, and there is where the project is going to be operated. That's it, in a brief. When you are talking about project charter, you have also to know what you call the team charter. When you are talking about the team charter, just take it as an offer, a job offer. Every member is having a contract. And in the contracts, there are also responsibilities. And there are also key performance indicators, what you will be also doing. So you have to use a project charter, team charter, and ground rules, as well as the strategic objective of the organization of the project, just to drag people from nonsense things to come again to the project. So what it does and why it's important? It authorizes the project, enable project manager to apply resources to project work, define rational and business needs, verify alignment with strategic goals, keep everyone focused on clear project vision. So it means that the project charter is always there. And so let me go now. We are still, now I'm bringing in the manage the conflict, because remember, we are in building the we are now trying to build the understanding. We should be building our shared understanding, and in building our shared understanding, conflict comes number one. Why conflict management matter? Ineffective conflict management leads to what? Destructive behavior, animosity, poor performance, reduced productivity. Why the effective conflict management leads to improved understanding, better performance, higher productivity. And make to be sure that you are always transparent. But being transparent also require you can be transparent, but you may not be utilizing a fluid communication. You have to be transparent, but also use a fluid communication. You have to be very empathetic. You should be having really leadership skills, which are, but the power skills should be high. The source of conflicts. My dears, this is something that I have got from Rita Marke book. There are 7 sources of conflicts, which are in this order. Schedule. Most of the time, you see this guy on top. He have reached very far. Another is down. Even to reach to him, it is very difficult. There is a bigger gap. You know, even this guy on top may even say, okay, so I can't get you, let me go. So then immediately it becomes personal. So the schedule, you may be behind due to several things. Logistics, like in this period, many things, contracts, suppliers, and then there are some project priorities. For project priorities, you will be finding that the sponsor or the boss just sometimes assigning resources to priorities, while the other activities which are not taken as priorities, they are left behind. And this can create also conflict. Resources, people, money, facilities, and so on. This also creates conflicts. Most of the time, resource sharing, when it is not there, the conflict comes in. Technical opinions. You may have someone who is highly knowledgeable, and always when he starts to talk, he's overconfident. This also can be an issue. Or a subject matter expert brings an argument and you don't take it seriously while he's an expert, it becomes also. Then administrative procedures, cost. Now personality comes at number 7. Can you imagine? And most of the time, the people are taking conflicts as personal. It becomes personal if the root cause have not been really addressed. So conflict as part of team culture. This is to tell you, if you are running a complex project, conflict is inevitable. So take it as really something which is with your project. Don't take it personal. So encourage exchanges and disagreements. So disagreements, you may have a disagreement, but having the same objectives, because the project objective is unique. So if you are disagreeing on reaching the objective, this is understandable. But you as a project manager, you have to take a decision. You have to decide. And sometimes you have to negotiate so that you reach to a consensus for an approach that you are going to utilize. So how to handle conflicts, team charter, ground rules, the project goals, those are the things that can help you. So focus on issue and not on individual. You have, so don't make it personal. You need to solve the problem. When someone is telling you something which are, no, you say, no. How can we get this issue resolved? Anything that can resolve the issue will make the project successful, rather than always discussing on personal things. So now, there is these levels of conflicts. There is a problem to solve. There is then a disagreement. There is then a contest, then a fight-flight, then a trackable situation. So you have to make sure that your own reach may be at the second points so that you agree. You have to focus on the issue so that really you solve it. Rather than when you go to 3rd up to 5th, it means that really you are no longer focusing on the issue. So the interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence, influencing leadership, decision-making, active listening. So in the last presentation, I have brought this and also the conflict management approaches. We are having 5 ways, but they are having different naming. So smooth, it is the same as accommodating. Smoothing and accommodation or accommodating, you check the area of agreement, you take the intersection. So consider position to maintain harmony and relationships. So you don't take the disagreement, you remove, you work. So this is just like in Munyarwanda. Then withdraw or avoid. They mean the same thing. So now it is retreat from the situation or postpone the issue. When this happens mostly when maybe you are remaining with a short time, or maybe when really something is not critical. So you may avoid so that you can come to it later on. So then compromise, reconcile. The compromise, it is just an advance of smoothing or accommodating. This time, you take the intersection, but every part give something. So it means that you add. You can say, okay, please let me accept, give you this, and also you give me this. So then you increase the intersection. Then force or direct, it is when really you take one direction. So you take one side. This, we call it win-lose. Then collaborate or problem solve, it is when you go in deep. This is the best one, but it is used when you have enough time and resources, because you have to go into everything. So let me plan, manage budget and resources. This will be just like the last one, but it is also a bit summarized. You know, we are having, I told you that we estimate in 3 things: in the cost, in the duration, and in resources. This is where we do estimation. So now, when you estimate, you get the cost baseline. What is the cost baseline? The cost baseline, you are having estimates of all of the activities and work packages, but there is what we call contingency reserve. The contingency reserve, those are for example, when you are having a project, it does have risk. And when you identify risk, you perform qualitative risk analysis. After qualitative risk analysis, you perform quantitative risk analysis. After performing quantitative risk analysis, and then you create the risk response plan. Then the risk response plan, there is a contingency plan where you are having the budget, which is associated to every risk, maybe if it happens or when you want to remove it. So that budget, it is called the contingency plan. And that contingency plan, it will be having the contingency reserve. That contingency reserve, it is added to the estimates. Then after being added to the estimates and being accepted, and then you get the cost baseline. Then on top of the cost baseline, we'll be having also a management reserve. This is sometimes the project managers, they know the cost baseline, maybe the management reserve, it is reserved for the senior managers. And then you'll be comparing just always the cost baseline with the expenditures. So now always when you are estimating, always historical data are very important. Start with what's known. Don't really reinvent the wheels. So now the project budget, this is what I was saying. You estimate the activity cost, and then after the activity cost, you add the contingency reserve, and then you get the activity cost baseline. And then after those activities, you put them together in worker packages, cost estimates, and the contingency reserve is there. And every worker package is having what we call the control accounts. And then when you do the sum of all of those control accounts, you get the cost baseline, and then on the cost baseline, when you add the management reserve, which is decided by the management, and then you get the project budget. So that's what I wanted also to highlight. Then you do the budget consideration or consolidation. You can even consolidate it. So plan and manage a schedule. Here, you have to know that, you know, in the scope, first of all, you collect the requirements. After collecting requirements, you define the scope. After defining the scope, you create the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure is composed by work packages. In the work packages, there are activities. Those are the activity list. And then when you do the activity list, you have to check the relationship between activities. After precedence relationship management assessment, after knowing the relationship, now you put on precedence diagram. Then after putting them on the network diagram, now you estimate the activity durations. After estimating the activity duration, now you can sum up those activity duration, and then you can know the duration of the projects, and you can have now those information radiators like Gantt charts, network diagram. All of those things can happen, but you have to be doing those things sequentially. List activity, sequence activity by checking the relationship, estimate the activity duration. After estimating the activity duration, then you find the network, you find the project duration draft. When approved, it becomes the project duration or the project schedule. And before approving, they can ask you to compress or to optimize. We are having two ways of optimizing: fast tracking and crashing. And you have to understand what is the difference between those two. So start with benchmark and the historical data as usual. Then you have to do, as I was saying, worker package are from the worker breakdown structures. Then determine the dependencies and the precedence relationship. Estimate the duration of activities based on average resources. Determine the critical path. Resolve resource over allocation. Compress the schedule if needed to meet the constraints. So now, every work package will be having a control accounts. So now the work package, when they are together, they will be having a control accounts, and it will be having a budget associated with the work package which are under it. So now, activity dependence types. We have mandatory, discretionary, external, and internal. Anyway, let us say that mandatory, those are the ones that you can't change. For example, you can't go to elevation before the foundation in construction. So it means foundation first, then elevation. So it means that this is a mandatory relationship. Discretionary relationship, it is a relationship which has been set, but optional, which you did not, which is not mandatory. Then external, for example, something you don't have any control about the city of Kigali, for example. If they decide tomorrow there is no vehicle which is going to pass in this road, so you can't change. This is external. Internal also, you may have some other things that can help you, that can lead you to a dependence type. So now, a precedence relationship, it is where you are having finish to start. We are having finish to start. We are having finish to finish. We are having start to start. We are having start to finish. So we may be having those, but the most important is this one. And this we show this by using the precedence diagramming method, PDM. So now, activity duration estimate terminologies. So there is what we call elapsed time and effort time. I tell you, focus always on effort time. For example, you can you might have started to learn from the last month, and then now it is 2 months. This is elapsed time. Effort time, it will be how many number of hours you have seriously been studying. That's it. And this is what we will be considering always. So then in estimating technique, we'll be having analogous, parametric, 3 points, and bottom up. But analogous, it is like a top down. So it is where you are using previous history. Then parametric, it means that you are having different numbers, but there are some computation that you do. You multiply by numbers, so there are some parameters. Then the 3 points, it is when you are having the 3 points where we have the optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. Most likely is in between. Let me say, for example, for people who go to buy something in the market, or you need to buy a vehicle or a car, then they tell you a car is just like 15,000 USD to get this car. But now you ask, if really I'm not, if by chance, really, how much can it be if it does not become costly? They tell you 13,000, you can't go less than that. Now 13,000 will be the optimistic. And then you ask, now, if really it becomes very complex and complicated, which amounts can I exceed? They say maybe 17,000 USD. So now 17,000 will be pessimistic, 13,000 will be optimistic, then 15,000 will be most likely. So then when you do, you can use either triangular or for 3 points, or you use PERT. PERT means project evaluation and review technique. PERT approach or beta distribution, it means that they take the most likely and they give it the more weight. They give it a weight of 4, while the pessimistic is given a weight of 1 and optimistic is given a weight of 1. Then the total are a weight of 6. Then you will be taking those 3 points. You take pessimistic times 1, most likely times 4, optimistic times 1. Then you divide by 6. And then you will see now the estimates. Otherwise, the triangular, you take pessimistic, most likely, optimistic, you divide by 3. So that's it. And then the bottom up, it means that every team will be estimating. Then after estimating, you do aggregation, and then you will see the entire. So this is utilized. Now in estimating techniques, this can be utilized to both cost, it can be utilized to duration, it can be utilized to resources. So those are the techniques that can be utilized to those 3 domains. So now when we are talking about 3 points, triangular, you take those 3, you add, you divide by 3. And then while you are utilizing PERT, which is called a beta distribution, you will be giving the optimistic 1 weight, most likely 4 weight, and pessimistic 1 weight. And then you have utilized 6, then you divide by 6 for the average. and then you will find the estimation. So now, critical path methods. Now you remember those activities we said that we have to put them on line so that you to sequence them. Now you can see now activity 2 can't happen before completing the activity 1. The activity 3 can't happen before completing the activity 1. But if you can see the activity 2 is not dependent on activity 2. It does not depend on activity 4. But the activity 5 is depending on the activity 1 and activity 3, but it is not depending on activity 2 nor activity 4. So then activity 6 does have all of the ones as the precedence. So it is finished to start, and then you are having to finish. Now, the critical path will be checking the path. How many paths do we have here? We are having 2 paths. And then the first path, it will be having 6 weeks plus 4 weeks plus 3 weeks plus 1 week. And then you have 14 weeks. The second path, 6 weeks plus 5 weeks plus 4 weeks plus 1 week, you have 16 weeks. Now, the longest path will be called the critical path. And then the critical path will be providing the duration of the project. Now, there are now some distraction. They tell you the critical path is the longest path. But they tell you the shortest project duration of a project corresponds to the critical path length. The shortest. Now they tell you the shortest and they tell you the longest. Remember, we are talking about the length, the longest for the path. We are talking about the shortest for the project, for the entire project. So the critical path corresponds to the duration of the project and will be corresponding to the shortest possible project duration. So longest is the path, the critical path. Shortest, we are talking about the project. So don't be confused because you can be challenged. So schedule, presentation formats, those are the formats. So the formats we are having: roadmap, Gantt chart, milestone chart, project schedule network diagram. So the output is a project schedule network diagram, which will be always this is what we want. So now the Gantt charts, now something just like a star, it represents the milestone. So the Gantt charts, they will be putting all of the activities on the calendar days, so that you can know this activity will be happening in those dates like that. So now Gantt charts, now milestones, those are now you see those stars. They will be showing the milestone, the key milestones to celebrate. Remember that milestone have 0 duration. Why? You just reach there. It doesn't take you any second to reach to the milestone. Once you are there, you are there. So project network diagram, this is just a notation or for graphical example only, just to show you how the network diagram is. So I believe now schedule completion techniques, you use fast tracking and crashing. Fast tracking, it is when you use the available resources. You can take a pupil on non-critical path, you bring them on the critical activities, and then you reduce the duration. But the challenge with the fast tracking is the quality, because it is where you can even take people who are less experienced, who are not experts, and then you bring them in the assignments that require experts. Then crashing, It is when you schedule, but you can increase the cost by adding resources. So you can now, you understand that this will be increasing the cost. But the fast tracking also can increase the cost if, for example, the risk happens, because it is also risky. This is the difference between the fast tracking and the critical path. And then you will be getting the schedule baseline. The schedule baseline, it is that this happens before the project starts. So it is that we are having before you start the project. And then when the project starts, you may even find that schedule baseline changes. So now let us show you in adaptive. You can take really this picture and know it. Why? Because it will be showing you how the adaptive planning is being done. So, you know, product vision drives product roadmap. Product roadmap drives release plans. Release plans establish iterations. Iteration plans schedule future developments. Prioritize the feature delivered by user stories estimated in story points. And then you have a task. So now we have task. And then those tasks, they help you to reach to a feature. Then when you get to a feature, maybe if it is accepted, you release it. To reach it to a feature, there are some iteration that you do. When we are talking about iteration, take the sprint, iteration, cycle means the same thing. Sometimes you hear the keywords sprint. Sprint, it is just a cycle or iteration. So for reaching to a feature, you have to do several iterations, and then once the feature is approved, then you can release it. And then when you have different features, then all of the features have been complete, then maybe the project is complete. So now the features, they are composed by what? To do a feature, you are having the task, and the tasks are composed by what? There are what we call the story points. The user stories, they are written under story points. So it means that this activity will need this. Those are story points. And when you are talking about user stories, it is just like description of the activity of what is needed. So the user will tell you what he wants in terms of user stories, and those user stories, they will be composed by story points. And then when you are just like doing creating a feature, then you use those story points, and then you do iteration, maybe 1, 2, or 3, or 5, any number of iteration. And then when the feature is accepted by the customer, then you release it. Okay. So this page can give you all of the information related to adaptive planning. So now there are some other keywords I wanted you to know. There is what we call definition of ready and definition of done. Definition of ready means that this is just the description of how something should be. Just what needs to be in place so that the team can begin work, depend on the environment's complexity and the lesson learned from the past iteration. Use DOR checklist to communicate and collaborate with stakeholders about readiness for a work or progress. So the DOR, what is needed? What is really the input? What is the input? What do we need to say that to have what we might have. Then the definition of done, it is now the output, the definition of the output. Something when will be done, it will be having this and this and this, it will be working like this. So the DOD go in place of acceptance criteria. They are similar. Only we use DOD in adaptive environments, while in predictive environments, we are utilizing acceptance criteria. And then the DOR, those are the requirements. We are utilizing the requirements in predictive, while in adaptive, we are utilizing DOR. So those were just really the keywords that we wanted. And then we prioritize the sprint iteration backlog. So when we are talking about sprint, those are iteration, the cycle, repeating, sprint planning, until you reach to a feature. So really, thank you so much. This is now maybe it is not the end. It was long, but I'm giving you a link. You will do some questions. We'll be having around 25 questions. They will be focusing on what we have studied today. You can even really utilize them in your revision, because I never make the Google form, I don't remove it, and it can help you. Let me share. And after that, then you will ask questions. Oh, okay. Can you give me the chat access so that I can share? Or I'm going to share it with you, and then you can share it there.
Hello, Dr. Innocent.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
yes.
What do you want to share it?
Yeah, just the quiz.
Okay.
In my chat is not active.
Oh, no problem.
Yes, sure. And I can see, I beg that all of the at least the 200s, they have to do that, because those questions have been prepared carefully. I have spent much time on them, and they are associated to those tasks. So I want everyone really to try to do. So while I'm waiting for you to activate my chat, you can also paste it there so that they start.
Yeah, I'm pasting it there now.
Sure.
But your chat is supposed to be activated.
No, it is not activated, by the way. Chat is only available during the meeting. This is what they say. This is the message I'm seeing. And really, I want really people to go through this, because it is different from, yes, please. You can click there. You can activate so that also when they complete, they can put their marks.
No, but their chat is activated actually. All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me who is not.
Yeah, they've been chatting since. So
okay, they've been chatting. Can you imagine? They are chatting and me, I can't.
They've been chatting, asking you to share your deck, asking if they're going to receive the...
I see.
Yeah.
But me, I can't. Check on my account. But it's okay.
Or maybe when they will start, what you can do is to disconnect and connect again.
Me?
Yeah, maybe when they will start going through. Yeah. All right. Sure. Hello everyone. I just shared the form. So it's the Google form, as you can see on the chat. So please open and start answering. I've also pinned it to the chat. so that for all those who are chatting as well, for you not to lose visibility
Sure.
on that.
Let me rejoin again. Might be about my team. I don't know. So can you reshare the link again? You can reshare because for me I rejoined, but this chat.
No, can you now see the chat?
Yeah, you reshare again. I can see, but I can't do. I don't know. Maybe my machine. I don't know.
Yeah, I shared
Let
it
me
again.
see. Let me see if I can join by utilizing the web because I'm utilizing the. It might be the app, which is not.
Maybe what you could then do, maybe if you are connected through your laptop, you can use your phone to connect through the web and see by muting maybe your phone.
But I can't see the previous communication on the web. It's strange.
Hello, Dr. Innocent.
Hello?
Yeah, there's a question for you.
There's a question for me. Let me see. Oh, so need to diagram exhibit. So for 19, 20, and 21, we need to do a diagram. So let me check if I can share them here. Is it possible that we can leave all of those three questions? So we remain with 22 because it was very difficult to put them in the Google form. Very sorry for that. So we are not going to count them. Try to finish. Hello. I think now it's almost time. But what I wanted to say is that those questions have been prepared just really to challenge you a little bit. Unfortunately, for 3 questions, the network diagrams are not available. But I will be trying to check into the database. Then I can maybe share for those 2 questions, but I don't think that they are very important. But you can see now for those 3 questions, I have given to them 0 marks, which means that they are not counting. And you can even see it has got 2 questions. Oh, sorry, they will. The marks of it, I can't show it. If you see question, this one, it has 0 marks. And even in this one, it has 0 marks. Even this 21, it has 0 marks. So to mean that I have tried to remove the marks. But anyway, if it is on 24 over 24, we are having 10. It means that you understand that you can't pass all questions in an exam, which means if a question comes and becomes very difficult, don't waste much time on it, because the complicated question and the simplest question are having the same marks. They are having the same weight. However, in the examination, you just flag it and you select the answer and you go to the next. Why? Without selecting the answer, there is a possibility that you can end the exam without completing all of the questions. And then anywhere you didn't select anything, you get 0. If options are 4, it means that you are having 25% probability of passing it without knowing it. Because among 4, you are going to select 1. And in selecting that one, the best choice that you think, there is a possibility of even passing it without knowing. So don't leave any empty question. Don't go to the next question before answering to the previous one by knowing or even by not knowing. That's really what I tell you. So as you will be having access to this, I can request you to ask questions, and you may even be continuing on your own. But all of you see that this average, it's a bit tricky. And I told you at the beginning that when I was preparing those questions, I tried to be much more realistic. I tried to make sure that they are comparable to the real exam questions, which are not, by the way, because no single training organization will be having the exam questions. Even those PMI staff can't have access to that. So, questions? Questions? You can ask me questions. Or the link. Gaore, can you share the link again with them? Because I'm using the app. When I was using the online, I was able to send communication, but when I'm using the app, it's not. Okay,
no
so
problem.
18 over 25 is high, eh? Congratulations. You are above the average. So if you are sitting for the exam tomorrow, you are going to pass it. Wow, wow. Okay. Buthelezi, sit for the exam. Wow, wow, that's really, eh? Where you can see your score when you complete, you can see the score displayed. Wow, wow. Yes, we'll be stopping in 2 minutes. Yes, Jean. Yes, Jean, you can ask. Yes, Jean, you can ask a question.
Yeah, Jean, you can open your mic.
You can unmute. Can you unmute? You can unmute. You are muted, Jean. Can you unmute? Question 2 confused you. Okay, you check the explanation. So he can't talk, eh? So anyway, so I think that's it today. And all the best for the ones having the exam tomorrow. Oh, mic was disabled. So it means the mic for the attendants are disabled.
Yeah, doctor. So those who want to ask can raise their hand like Jean, and I will enable it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't know where to click, so that's
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Innocent. Thanks again. It's always a pleasure to have you as instructor. Always challenging, always encouraging as well. So thanks again to everyone. Let me share with you YouTube link, for our page where you can get all the recordings of our various sessions. So right now, please check in the chats. Shortly, you see the link. Only hold on, just give me 1 second. So this is where you get all the past webinars, actually. So you can just follow the page and you'll get the recording for this session. And then we'll also make sure the same way you receive the invite, either via email or through the WhatsApp group, we'll also share the slides with you once we have it in our possession. All right, so the link for the YouTube channel has been shared. Over there, you see all the past recordings. If you miss anything, even this recording session, even this session as well, the recording will be uploaded in the days to come. On this note, I would like to thank again Dr. Innocent, who has been supportive. It's not his first session since last year. He has been with us. I know he will come back again, definitely for sure. So, Dr. Innocent, thank you very much. We appreciate. And to all candidates, all the best for those writing very soon, for those writing tomorrow, next week. We are really sure that if you've been consistent in your revision, definitely you share your badge with us. So thanks again and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.